and welcome to yet another episode of MUKA podcast. As usual, I'm your host, Joseph from Banyoro, Son of Africa. On this episode, is Rwenzori region becoming the heart of East Africa's tourism destination? This all is what we're going to explore today to uncover the future challenges and what we anticipate how the region should look like.
It's a pleasure to be with you this afternoon, Mr. Joseph.
Okay, thank you so much.
I'm so privileged for the invitation from MUKA podcast to equally partake and have some of my ideologies and experiences as someone who has been operating in the Rwenzori region. And I'm blessed that I equally originate from the Rwenzori region. Otherwise, I'm called Murungi Patrick Marshall. Mutoro mpako yanga twoki ndi mseja muvito kandi I love hospitality as a backbone from my fundamentals. I happen to be working with a brand called Kaije Country Cottages in Fort Portal, and we are doing this and that to ensure that at least the tourism city that we received in the region doesn't just remain in the words and in the political views, but it actualizes to everyone, and probably, you never know, we could be the destination in East Africa.
Yeah. Patrick, we are so honored to have you this time at MUKA podcast.
It's a pleasure.
Yeah, looking at the tourism hospitality in Uganda, looking at tourism being the sector where they injected a lot of money, and the Rwenzori region being the mother of tourism in Uganda. What do you have to say about that? Where is the future?
The future is both sweet and sour. But then at the end of it all, it comes back to us, because hospitality, it's the host who creates.
Yeah, true.
The others come because of the reasons that you have created. So when I look at the budget that was brought this year by the Ugandan government, it's really good, because one of the challenges that we have been facing as a country is how to package ourselves and position ourselves on the global market. Since now we are transitioned with the coming in of the digital migration from the analog, the world opened up all its doors.
Yes.
But then it is how you package yourself that gives you relevancy. So when you say that, and I look back at Fort Portal Tourism City, I look back at Uganda in its fullness. Then I look again at our other brothers and sisters within the East African corridor. To me, yes, the action was good for the budget to be raised, because one, we need the visibility, one, we need the sustainability, we need the trainings, we need to amplify the standards so that we can really match the global market. But, however, I won't fail to mention this. When we received cities in Uganda, back in the days, Fort Portal was the heart of the greater Western region, whereby even all administrative issues would be held in Fort Portal. So to me, with the history of Fort Portal, it is not just a tourism city that was given to us, but it was an action to appreciate the rich history that Fort Portal holds within all the places in Uganda. But then I'll take an example. Of recent, we hosted Spice at Kololo Grounds, and this was an initiative through Explore Uganda. And when Spice was hosted, I think before Spice came in, we received around a group of 10 tour operators from Canada who had come on ground to see the sightseeing of what Uganda is really like. And then just 1 week after that group left, Spice came in, had an concert at Kololo Grounds. But then, where does it position the tourism city? That's a question to all of us. Because in a layman's approach, if you are a tourism city, at least some of the engagements and activities that are attached to tourism are supposed to be hosted within your region. Because there are a lot of things that are looked onto before you are awarded something. So how do we expose what we are with yet these people who come in for the visits and the different engagements, all funded by the budget of the government of Uganda. But then they never get to reach the tourism city of Uganda.
Yes, yes.
So to me, it leaves a lot of question marks on where we are heading and if really what we are doing today is really going to put us up on the map, unless if we reflect back to ourselves and probably do some few things that we have been doing wrong.
Tourists along the global world, they like visiting Africa, but when they visit Africa, they look at visiting the part of Africa, which is Uganda. Why is most tourists like visiting this region?
Uganda, we are very blessed. From the weather, you can see we are a landlocked country.
Yes.
But then if you go to our revenue, you'll find that the revenue generated from the imports, exports, tourism are quite higher compared to other sectors. And when I say export, then I'm tackling the backbone of the country, that is the agriculture.
Yeah, agriculture.
And of which agriculture is equally flourishing back here in Uganda. So there are a lot of elements. I will give one example to clarify this. For example, there is a product that came in, I think, not more than 10 years ago, where among the destinations of Uganda, we had a new product called the Farm Tour Experience, where we have the coffee experiences,
Yes.
we have the tea experiences, we have the gardening just close to us in Vigodi. We have a gentleman called Mr. Banana, who is known as far as the UK, as far as the States. You see people putting on T-shirts of Mr. Banana, who is rooted just here in Vigodi. So that means that we have a lot that the world needs, but then the world doesn't know how does this come to reality. For them, they see coffee on the table, but they may never tell how is coffee grown. They may never tell which processes does coffee go through. Then adding to that, our weather itself, the nature of the people themselves being welcoming, and the natural attractions that we are really enriched with really position us in that position that the people outside in the other continents would really love to have a taste of Uganda.
Yeah.
When you evaluate the rate of industrialization in other African countries and the rate of industrialization in Uganda, at least Uganda has been a little reluctant here and there when it comes to embracing industrialization. As opposed to other countries, South Africa was one of the best destinations in Africa. But right now, South Africa's traffic went down because of industrialization and the environment being spoiled. So I think us preserving what we found there as Ugandans has equally played a very big role to ensure that we remain relevant in the world's eye.
Okay, that's good and quite interesting because when you look at Fort Portal, look at in the whole Rwenzori region, it has many of tourism sites. Looking at Mount Rwenzori, Crater Lakes, and whatever. What are the opportunities that remain untapped in the region?
Rwenzori region has been blessed by a lot of natural attractions.
Yes, yes.
Why I say natural attractions? When you move to Zanzibar, Zanzibar has the highest traffic right now when it comes to when it comes to tourism. But then Zanzibar has created a lot of products that align within the coastal trade and the people that would come for trading so that they could stay longer. But then in the end of it all, it has attracted a bigger economy of the whole world going to embrace the activities there. As opposed to us, we have been grown, we have been born in a region which is enriched with natural sites that are attractive. Let's say the 52 crater lakes that we are blessed to have, the Maberegani na Mwiru, the hot springs. We have even some of the waterfalls that are hidden of late. I'm trying to find out there is a certain waterfall somewhere as you cross to Nyangavu.
Yes.
There is a town called Nyakigumba. When you enter inside Nyakigumba, there is a certain waterfall which is not on anyone's itinerary. The other day, I was somewhere in after Kichwamba, Kihondo. I was somewhere in Kihondo in those corners, and I was trying to engage with the locals there. I had a certain group from the US, and we had gone just to sightsee in the evening what it looks like on top of the mountains. But then as I was interacting with one of the locals, the gentleman told me, do you know that Mountain Rwenzori National Park is just up there? There is even a lake. People come and normally go there and see what's happening. Then kaboom, we went up hiking, we found the place, and free of charge, because this was a local whom you just tip and be like, thank you.
Yes.
But the element and the experience that we got there, up to now the guys tell us that, you know what, we need to come back with our families just to have something like that. So where does this position us? You find that we are getting more tour companies, we are getting more tour operators, but we are having the same itinerary. We are not doing research, we are not doing discoveries, but then we want the people to still come in. But then what will they come in? One time I was interacting with one friend of mine is called Sven. He happens to be a German citizen, but he tends to visit Uganda itself annually. And he was telling me, man, for us, when we go back the other side, they'll ask you, did you go to track gorillas? Yes. Did you see the gorillas? No. They told me wrong timing. Oh, did they tell you to go back again? Yes. Did you buy a t-shirt? Yes. Did you buy a cape? Yes. So you'll go back again and again and again and again until you cannot go there anymore. So these people, travel to them is not just an ordinary thing. It's an investment.
Yeah, true.
And when someone invests, they expect something back from the investment. But then if someone invests and gets a disappointment, then it spoils everything. There is what we call the word of mouth spreads faster than wildfire.
Yeah, true.
Just one person who has invested $2,000 and comes and gets disappointed, that person is enough to cut down the market. Even if our budget, our national budget is favoring the industry, but then we the players can put down the industry. So to me, I think the region itself is blessed with a lot, but then I won't limit to say that the people within the region might not be knowing what they are blessed to be with. So it would be an initiative. This is a cry out to UTB.
Yes.
I have talked to UTB personally about the same issue. I would love to see UTB down on the ground trying to sensitize and train the tourism city occupants on what is expected of them on an international standard. Through that, that's when we can realize that, oh, my chicken house down there can bring me guests here, and those guests can pay to know how we take care of those chicken. Oh, my goats that I have there, I can equally milk them, and I can powder that milk and export it. So it shouldn't just stop on the budget, but it should come back down to the ground. Now that we are blessed, Fort Portal is the tourism city, please ignite the people. We are here and we are ready to take on.
When we look at the tourism sector in Toro, over 50-something craterics, there's Mount Rwenzori up there. So how can communities benefit from the tourism that was given to Toro?
It is right that we are blessed with a lot, but then I will start by saying we ourselves have limited and marginalized ourselves at a certain point. Why do I say this? You'll find that someone has stayed in Mugusu, but they have never moved from Mugusu to know what happens in Gusunga at the border. But they have lived here for over 70 years. So how will you tap the untapped energy if you're not trying to make research yourself.
I know what you're talking about because sometime back I had a conversation with some people from outside the country. They were like around only 2% of Africans. They are the ones who go for touring, but the rest, where do they go?
So, to someone who wants to come to tour your place, and you don't know your place,
Imagine.
how will they trust you? At least if you know your place, it's easy for someone to trust you because they know you know.
Yeah, true.
So to me, I think as the locals, we got a very big opportunity, by the way, to have the tourism city, because this one pushed our standards instantly to an international global market. But first of all, if we are to benefit from this, we have to ignite ourselves not to settle down for less. Our daily routines have to change, because what our districts were expecting out of us and what we used to do when we had the districts is not what we are supposed to do right now. So right now, I would love to talk to someone who has managed to be like, let me secure maybe a certain plot of land, or let me go and rent somewhere. I'm happy by some of the people in town who have started creating some art craft shops and exhibitions. And I would love to see someone, a youth, trying to be like, you know what, I'm going to invest my 100,000. I want to go and see what happens in Queen Elizabeth. I would love to see someone who says, by the way, it is not expensive. I was in Chivale the other day asking how much it costs to go trekking, and they told me 180,000. 180,000, if you gave yourself a scope of 6 months, I'm sure that all of us can raise that money.
True.
Actually, when I was there, what ignited me is that the people told me inside the forest, there is a baboon called Murungi. And I got ignited. I was like, even in the forest, there is me. So I have to go and see that person. But how does it take someone to get that 180,000 and go and be like what happens in Chivale? But then you find that this is the same person who has sold their plot of land in the village, bought a border, came into Fort Portal town, is parked on the stage. Then before you know, kaboom, someone has come. Hey, I am new in Fort Portal. This is my very first time around. What can I do? Then the person knows nothing. Remember that this person thinks that whoever person they meet within this locality has knowledge of what happens here.
Yeah, true.
So before we go to look on what we take home, on the take homes financially, let's look around the knowledge that we had never tapped into.
Yeah, true.
So to me, let's not look first at the money that we are taking home, but let's look at upgrading our lifestyle from the previous session of the district that we knew to the tourism city. Once we match the standards of the tourism city, I tell you, you and me won't be suffering.
Okay. Now, when you look at the tourism sector in Toro, let's say Rwenzori region, is it struggling, is leaping, is it shrinking, I should say?
Sure.
Yeah. Now, what are those gaps and what are the challenges? Because when we look in the past, we used to receive a number of tourists coming to visit Toro. And when these people don't come to Toro, it means our industry is dying, the economy is dying. So how can we close the gap?
Wow, thank you. I don't know how you manage to frame your questions, but man, those are the real questions that we should be asking ourselves.
Yes, yes.
You see, there is a difference between real talk and gossip. So when we talk about the challenges, I'm sorry to say, the challenges we are facing today, we may not be the creators of those challenges. But then at a certain point, we are the ones to create solutions for them, because this is our home.
Yeah.
So I will start by some of the challenges has been the urbanization and the development of the area itself. Because if you move to Wundibujo and compare the Wundibujo town, you come back to Fort Portal, you'll get to know why Fort Portal is not growing. If you went to Kasese town, looked at how their roads are aligned, and how the people are taking themselves, you'll feel like we have something missing. If you move to Mbarara town, which used to come to Fort Portal for administration, as far as I know in the 80s, at least my granny told me, right now we may not be even a quarter of Mbarara town. So the development, the scope of development in Fort Portal has really caused a big loop between us penetrating some things. Another aspect, I'll put it on the road.
Mm.
And this one now is affecting a lot of us. The road itself, you can't tell me that it is the gateway to a tourism city, but then it takes over 6 plus years still under construction without any clear circumstances that I'd explain to the public. And you expect a tourist to come and drive for 7 hours. The duster road and the potholes may not be a problem because it is equally an experience. These guys are used to very nice roads. So him being on a bumper ride, that's an experience. But the element of time comes in. This person is going to travel for 7 hours just to access a tourism city. To them, 7 hours feels like they have been exhausted for the entire trip. So I'm glad Mr. Tony Rwenzori, that is the CEO Eagle Air, came in. I think it was last year, August, when we were at the presidential CEO's retreat at Mountains of the Moon.
Yeah.
And Tony came in, requested, was like, I have the money. Please give me Saka. Let me put an airstrip there. Let people, I have the airplanes. He has his own warehouse at Entebbe International Airport. Eagle Air has its own parking slot there. It would be easy for someone to transition from one plane, go to another plane, be delivered within 30 minutes without facing any hurdles. So when we talk about elevating ourselves, those are some of the elements that we are talking about. We may not broaden it so much, but those are some of the elements that we talk about. So if we are really to attain the bigger picture of being the tourism destination of Uganda, and equally playing part to be the pearl of Africa, I think we should talk a different talk whenever we are out there. We should do different actions. Then those are the ones that will elevate us. Because good thing we have things to benchmark on. They're not the only tourism city in the world. There are other tourism cities. There are other tourism destinations. I was checking the other day on my phone. When you go and you type in maybe USA, they will show you visit Toronto, visit Miami, visit maybe Texas, and they will show you all that you can do in a day in Miami. They will show you all that you can do in a day in maybe Toronto. So if we are getting someone coming from Miami, they are used that I will go on my phone, I'll be like, what can I do in Miami? And they will show him, visit Miami, this is what you do, this and this. When they come to Toro, they will equally go on their phone and ask, what can I do in Toro? What will they find there? Then, if they find it there, are you prepared? The other day, he was very mad with someone, I won't mention the place. When I went there, took guests for hiking, it was 6:30 in the evening. The guest said, no, for us, we want to hike just one hill, and we shall give you 30,000. These people were 10 people. The person charges me 20,000 every day, but because he has seen this color is different, it's like, no, if it's not 50,000, you're not coming in. And the tourists were mad. They were like, no, we are not paying that money. We have it, but we won't pay it. And they canceled the trip. So this person, actually, they traveled back the next day. This person, what message do you think they took back the other side? So those are some of the elements that we should reflect on and try to amend if we are to attain the real picture of the tourism city that we want.
When we look at the tourism city, there is a lot of struggle, I should say. Because are we really prepared as Rwenzori region to receive this number of tourists? Our services of the standard. What do you have to say about that?
I will say and boldly that we are half prepared. Reason why I'm saying that we have prepared, the Creator had already done something for us, but we have not done anything for ourselves. I will just give one example. Last month, I was talking with one of the tycoons within Fort Portal who just built a mall within the city center and was trying to show me that he's trying to put a conference hall somewhere. But then I told him, do you know that in Rwanda next month they are hosting a global conference on tourism? Don't you think that we would also love as Fort Portal to be like, no, yes, Rwanda, you have hosted it, but we are going to lobby it now. The next one, we need it in Fort Portal. But if you bring it, what kind of services are people going to use? We don't even have a conference hall that can accommodate at least 1,000 people within the region.
Imagine.
So tourism is so big. When you try to break it down, we have the leisure travelers, we have the study tours, we have the agro-tourism. It's quite a number of things. But then us aligning ourselves with the different products that tourism expects us to support should be the very first key. So this would be a call, because we are not prepared. That's the truth. This would be a call to every tour operator and anyone that is in hospitality. When I talk of hospitality, I don't mean the people who work in hotels. Even you who rides a border in front of Voice of Toro, tomorrow someone is going to approach you and it's their first time to be in Fort Portal. But how equipped are you? How equipped are you? Even if you cannot tackle something, do you have an immediate person you can refer to? Let this person take it on. So from the top to the kid who is anticipating to take on the tourism industry and hospitality within the region, the time is now for us to start thinking differently and preparing ourselves in the different aspects that we would love to support tourism in this community.
There is a body that is governing tourism, the Uganda Tourism Board. By the look of things, this body is concerned over everything that happens in hospitality sector.
Yeah, sure.
How has the Uganda Tourism Board helped these private investors in terms of hospitality?
Uganda Tourism Board, I will say it came in. I will highlight two main projects that have really been impactful. Whenever you see something that has Explore Uganda, that is a project under UTB that is meant to market Uganda and as a destination. So I really applaud UTB for that initiative. Another initiative that I will applaud UTB for, though I will say you shouldn't sleep, because you promised, but you haven't actualized. So don't think that us whom you promised, we forgot what you promised us. Has been assessing and training the different hospitality players, from the tour operators to someone who operates a guest house, to someone who operates a small, tiny Airbnb somewhere. So UTB came in and told us that in East Africa, the East Africa Tourism Board has a limited number of assessors, and that one would not allow them to carry on the whole country at once. But Fort Portal being a tourism city, we are chosen to be among the first beneficiaries of this assessment exercise, whereby we had a retreat, I remember, at Nyaika Hotel, whereby UTB briefed us of the do's, the don'ts, the expectations, this and that, so that when they come, they don't find us unprepared. And lastly, I will applaud them because I was having the same question to Uganda Airlines. Why Uganda Airlines doesn't even have a booking office in Fort Portal? Yes, you might tell me the world is digital now, but not everything is digital. At least there is something that is needed on ground. Yes, I may go on phone and book my flight, but if I have a query, who will be there to handle me? So UTB has gone as far as going to the different regions that are really playing a big part in tourism and deployed their own person to man the activities that are going there. While in Fort Portal, we are equally blessed to have one Deborah who is working as the UTB ambassador in Fort Portal. So to me, UTB is doing a great job. I would just request them not to back down and to really actualize the promises they are promising us, because investors are investing and they are hoping that whatever they are investing is for the good and growth of the community where we are. But then if they invest and then there are no returns, it means our curve will be going soon. It will be going so fast back to zero. We may not even have somewhere to hold. Yeah, so UTB, I applaud you and I request, please, keep it up. Don't just back down.
Okay. When you look at, I'm not forgetting Rwenzori region, looking at Toro, Fort Portal, being the mother of tourism sector in Uganda, not forgetting UTB, Uganda Tourism Board.
Sure.
What more should we expect, or what more do you think is lacking for UTB to market, let's say, Western Uganda internationally?
One thing that we are blessed with in the West is we have the natural attractions.
Yeah, true.
So it means on top of the natural attractions, I'm sorry to say we are all in Uganda, we are brothers and sisters. I normally love to pick a leaf of Ginger. Ginger was an industrial city, but in the last 10 years, Ginger has evolved to being the destination everyone would love to go to. When I'm talking to people going for retreats, everyone tells you, I'm going to Ginger. Oh, we are going to Ginger for team building. Oh, we are going to Ginger for surfing. Oh, we are going to Ginger for this. But then back here we have rivers, we have water bodies, we have land, we have cattle, we have a lot that we can use. But then I'm glad there is a gentleman in Kivito, I'm forgetting the name. That gentleman exports matoke to German, and he went as far as knowing that if he cultivated banana leaves from the plantation and he dried them, they could be on market somewhere in Germany because they have certain products they do out of the banana leaves.
Yeah.
So you see the element of creativity that we are talking about. All of us have banana leaves, but it took the other man, I never knew it also until I visited his farm. That's when I got to know that, even banana leaves are of use at a certain point. So we are blessed with a lot, but then we don't have products to sell. And when UTB comes in, it doesn't come to sell your name. It comes to sell your product. So I think it would be a call to us in the Western region at large, the different investors and the different consultants that our investors are consulting into. Please guide these people to create products, create activities, things that are engaging. If someone went and tracked a baboon, but unfortunately it was a bad timing, what will wash away that stress? At least maybe a horseback riding somewhere. At least maybe a surfing somewhere. So you find that what we are missing, the element that we are missing is the element of creativity and productivity within the industry. And then we can demand UTB. What have you done? We have given you the product. What have you done? But right now we may not ask for much from UTB because even our products are limited. What we found here is what is still here up to date. What our grandfathers left here is what is still here up to date. And mind you, if I came and visited and I will go back, my son who is 3 years, I will tell them whatever I saw. They won't love to come because they have already been told what is there.
Yeah, true.
So let's work on the product creation and be creative in the industry.
Okay. So not forgetting East African Tourism Board, if it is the correct word. Before we may ask, how can Uganda collaborate with other East African countries to attract more visitors?
Of late, I've been seeing Uganda Tourism Board showcasing coffee in China, showcasing coffee in the States, showcasing some milk products in the Middle East. So Uganda Tourism Board has gone as far as trying to initiate these partnerships with the different players. Just the other day, I was at Poate in Munyonyo, and Visit Rwanda had come because of the partnership that they have with Uganda Tourism Board. So Uganda Tourism Board, bravo you guys. You're trying to do your best, but equally, I wouldn't say that you should settle for where you are. We still need you to come back now, because you can never take your own and expose them in light, yet you know they are dirty. You will be exposing your dirty linen. It will call you to first call your own, tell them, you know what, guy, first go shower, dress up well, then come, we go. There is an opportunity somewhere there. But you are sure that if you took that person the way they are, they may not tap that opportunity. So UTB, before, yes, you have created the partnerships that you have created, and you're still trying to do this more and more. But I don't know what your work plan is for now. But among your work plan for this financial year, I would look at you sensitizing and trying to make sure that people create experiences, create products that can really be of relevance at the international market.
So a quick one as we wind up the show. Can Rwenzori region become East Africa's?
I'm very sure about that, and it is one of the driving forces that most of us are using to make these small strides within the industry, because I'll give you some of the reasons why I'm telling you that it is very possible. One of the reasons, the Rwenzori region is blessed with quite a number of natural attractions. Another reason, the Rwenzori region is blessed with a lot of good climate that you'll never find in other places. Another element I'll tell you, the Rwenzori region is blessed with the kind of people that are really hospitable as opposed to other tribes if you compare other places. The Rwenzori region alone is blessed by the rich history and the rich background from our forefathers, how this place was beautiful, and how even the UK of recent were awarded, the UNESCO awarded us as some of the heritages of the world, meaning that we have carried on this from way back till to date. Other places have been demolished. If you visit Nigeria, Nigeria is down. If you visit South Africa, South Africa is down. If you visited Ghana, the same thing. But at least we have managed to preserve what we have. So it is now a call to us to equally take it on to another step. But with that, I really firmly believe that Rwenzori region can be the tourism destination of East Africa.
Okay, that's all we had from Patrick. It is so interesting. The question is, can Rwenzori become East Africa's destination for tourists to come and rest and chill and have enjoying East Africa's tourism life? So I don't know what you're saying in the comment section down there. So this is all we had from us. I wish you the very best one.